own money, because your other agencies are banking in the banking, and you go to that same bank and you borrow. So you are actually borrowing your money at a higher risk. And so that is something I really think is a good thing. And if we develop, we also establish criteria as recommended here of assessing effective utilization of the borrowed money. That is as it should be. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I support this, and I recommend the committee for coming with this, and it's something which may be part and parcel of our budget process. Thank you.
Thank you. For Yatta.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to contribute to the report from the Committee of Liaison. Mr. Speaker, borrowing is not a problem, but the problem is you borrow money and you waste the money. Mr. Speaker, we need to cut wastages and we need to cut theft. Mr. Speaker, Gen Z's talked of austerity measures, Mr. Speaker, and even the president banned politicians from participating in Harambes, Mr. Speaker. And then I was shocked just to see the end of state donating 20 million in a church, Mr. Speaker. And you know very well, being the head of state, we respect him. But it's important.
No, because what's out of order?
Honorable Speaker, we are discussing about the medium-term debt management strategy, which is before the House. And I think the honorable member is digressing and is out of order to bring matters that are irrelevant. I don't know whether the country I don't know whether he understands what we are discussing, because what he's actually saying is completely not out of order. It's not relevant to the discussion that is before the House. Could the member be declared to be out of order, Honorable Speaker?
The order. The Honorable Robert, your namesakes.
Yes,
So there is Robert Basil and one is Robert Pukose. The younger Robert, could you relate to us what you are saying with the debt strategy?
You know, Mr. Speaker, I respect my namesake, Honorable Pukose. But what I want to remind him, we are talking of medium-term strategy, and we are talking of public debt management system. So if you talk of wastages, that is part of public debt management. It's within the public debt.
No, what is saying, because the rules say that when a member contributes, they must be relevant.
Yes.
Asking how is Harambee contributions relevant to this medium debt strategy? That is the issue.
Yeah, that is why I'm trying to explain to him, because when you see the end of, say, contributing, we are trying to see or to explain, could this money be coming from the public debt? Remember, we borrow money. No, wait a minute.
You are out of order. On that, you're completely out of order. Please proceed and prosecute your point.
Yes, the emphasis I was trying to put across, Mr. Speaker, and I think members need to listen to me carefully, because whatever we do is for generations to come, not for now. So when we talk of public debt management system, we need to use our money prudently, because why borrow money at the same time misuse the money? When I talk about budget, our budget is never itemized, for example, Mr. Speaker. And that is why accountability is required. When we talk of recommending public debt management system to be digitized, is to promote accountability and transparency on usage of money borrowed, that is public debt. Mr. Speaker, if you look at countries like Japan, the debt ratio to GDP stands at over 200%. The debt ratio to GDP of countries like the United States stand at 98%. Our debt ratio to GDP is at 68%. But the only challenge we have, the money that we borrow, we never use it prudently. And that is the point I'm trying to underscore to members and to the country at large. Mr. Speaker, as members just mentioned, if you look at IMF, they have put the threshold for borrowing money at 55%. That is a public debt for development or for developing countries at 50%. But ours now, Mr. Speaker, we are recommending over 55%. And I think we need to be careful, Mr. Speaker, otherwise we are going to burden Kenyans with the debt, which will be extremely unacceptable, considering now the cost of living is above the roof, Mr. Speaker. So in a nutshell, what I would recommend going forward, and as a way of prudent use of our resources or public management, we need to invest in production, Mr. Speaker, so that we can generate raw materials and also finished products to mitigate importation and to be able to reverse the balance of trade, which is currently negative, Mr. Speaker. Importantly, Mr. Speaker, we need to have, a proper system within Treasury, like having one account within Treasury, so that we see no loopholes where our resources could actually disappear and cause to increased debt where the money is not accounted for and the Kenyans continue to feel the pinch, Mr. Speaker. So it's not that I'm trying to attack or dilute the discussion by making references to some of the accusations or where Kenyans would be agitated and say, for example, their resources is not prudently being used. And that is the reason why even these austerity measures were called for by the agencies, Mr. Speaker. So with that, I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Member for Baringo.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And once again, I also want to join members who have spoken before me in supporting and wading my thoughts into this medium-term debt management strategy of 2025. Mr. Speaker, this report has come at a very good time, considering that within the period of our elections and now, we are right in the middle of the term. And this, as a report shows the growth that we have so far undertaken through our economy. And the debt, like most members have said, borrowing is not a problem. But the problem is, where do you put the money after borrowing? Because automatically you will end up, pushing yourself and making sure that you're paid back the money you borrowed. In Kenya today, we are grappling on many things, many vices that contribute to wastages, embezzlement of public funds because of lack of proper infrastructures and proper ways of making sure this money is taken care of. And people who handle money, Mr. Speaker, in this case is Treasury, which the report is suggesting that they must, by all means, make sure that they have this single, single source of making sure that all the MDS and all parastatals use one channel to, in their, as a single, I can't see